Okay, tayo ay mag-aral ng salita ng Diyos. Continuation ng ating series of the book of 1 Peter. If you have your Bibles with you, please open your Bibles to 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 to 12. 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 to 12. Ang topic po natin, the Christian, a love cultivator. Christian, a love cultivator. Follow me with your eyes as I read 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 to 12. Finally, be all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be beautiful, be courteous, not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile. Let him eschew evil and do good, let him seek peace and ensue it. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers, but the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. Hihingi tayo ng gabay sa Panginoon as we study His Word. Lord, thank you very much for the blessing of reading your Word together with other saints. We pray, Lord, that as we study your Word, may you give us wisdom and the heart to obey. Lord, we cannot understand your Word, Panginoon, on our own. That the Holy Spirit move in our lives this morning as we look at word for word yung text na aming binasa. And again, Lord, I am not worthy to speak your word to your people. I am a sinner, Lord. If you decide to strike me dead this morning, Lord, because of the sins that I have committed in the past, Lord, you will be justified for doing that. But Lord, again, I tap on the grace that you have made available through the sacrifice of your Son, Jesus Christ. May that grace be poured down on me, Lord, this morning so that I may be allowed to speak your word to your people this morning. This is our prayer, my prayer in His name. Amen. The first word dun sa text natin sa verse 8 is finally, di ba? Yun yung first word dun sa text natin. Finally. It shows that Peter has arrived at the point where he is now to summarize yung kanyang discussion on how a Christian should conduct himself in the different areas of social life. Andito naman sa point na isa-summarize na niya. Remember, he started with discussion of why a Christian should maintain his testimony doon sa general na pag-ikot natin sa society. And you can see that in 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. And then he followed that with yung testimony natin in relation to the powers that be or yung mga nasa posisyon sa gobyerno. How should we conduct our testimony sa harapan ng mga namumuno sa atin, gobyerno? And you will see that in 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 13 to 17. Tapos pagkatapos nun, he moved to our testimony to our masters. Lahat tayo, meron tayong some sort ng pinagtatrabahuan, kung tayo mga empleyado sa isang negosyo. Si Peter made an exposition, an exhortation of yung testimony natin na pangalagaan natin in relation to our masters. And you see that sa 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 18 to 25. Tapos yung huling-huling pinag-aralan mo natin, tinapos niya yung kanyang exhortation sa pangangalaga ng ating testimony in the different areas of social life dun sa testimony natin bilang mag-asawa. Okay? At especially if you want to win, kung meron kang asawa na hindi mananampalataya, eto dapat ay papakita mo rin ng testimony sa asawa mo so that you can win your spouse to Christ as well. And you can see that in 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 1 to 7. In verse 8, he is kind of saying, okay, eto na ang gist of everything I discussed from chapter 2, verse 11 to chapter 3, verse 7. At yung gist ng kanyang conclusion ng kanyang discussion is this: cultivate love. Cultivate love. Yun yung pinaka-summary ng discussion ni Peter from chapter 2 to chapter 3. Cultivate love. Our text is a reminder to every Christian that love, not only to God, but to others as well, should be a mark of our walk in this life, even in difficult situations that we are in, just like what Peter's readers are in and will be in. Remember, ang situation ng mga readers ng 1 Peter, the Christians are being persecuted because at first, the Roman Empire thought wala, isang sekta lang yung Christianity sa Judaism. But later, they understood. They discovered that Christianity is different from Judaism, kaya they started persecuting the Christians. Tapos, darating pa yung point, nung sinusulat nito, hindi pa dumating yung point na to, okay? Sinusulat yung 1 Peter, hindi pa dumating yung point na to, na si Nero, the emperor ng Roman Empire, ay gusto niyang bago yung mga buildings dun sa empire niya. So, anong ginawa niya? Sinunod niya yung city, okay, para ma-flat mo na yung city para makapagtayo ng mga bagong mga buildings. Sinunod niya yung buong city dahil gusto niya magtayo ng mga bagong mga buildings, pero ang ginawa niya, sinabi niya, ang gumawa niya mga Christians. So, anong nangyari? Mas nagalit ngayon yung mga tao, sa mga Christians. They were persecuted and will be persecuted more because of their faith. Okay? So, ang sinasabi ni Peter sa atin, ito yung mga different areas ng buhay ninyo. Ano ang point niya? Sa kabila na nahihirapan kayo, cultivate love. This is an exhortation from Peter that obviously was born of a difficult process that he went through before he understood this need to cultivate love. Knowing yung personality ni Peter, he had before, during this time, di ba? Alala nyo, when we had yung Bible class over coffee natin, pinag-aralan natin yung buhay ni Peter. Alam natin si Peter, if love ang gustong topic, cultivating love. Kung titignan niyo yung mga buhay, mga disciples, it will not be Peter na kukunin mo research person. Dahil hindi siya yung best speaker by experience of cultivating love. Remember, ito si Peter, palaban. Palaban to. When you go against him or Christ, you don't expect him to give back love. Okay? Ano bibigay ni Peter? Sword. He even pulled out the sword at pinutol niya isang tenga ng isang kukuha kay Kristo. That's the kind of personality ni Peter. But to our amazement, 1 Peter is now talking about cultivating love. Ito ang tanong, how do we show love? Okay, first, how do we show love for the brethren? How should love for the brethren be shown? Okay? Ito ang unang di-discuss ni Peter. Una sinabi niya, show love with one mind. Sabi ng verse 8, finally, be ye of all mind. This does not mean that we should be uniform in everything that we do. Hindi ko yun ang sinasabi niya. Okay? But instead, ang sinasabi ni Peter dito, there should be cooperation dun sa diversity ng mga personalidad natin. Meron tayong cooperation dapat kahit na magkakaiba tayo ng mga personalidad. How do we cooperate in diversity? Paano natin ma-achieve yung cooperation in diversity? By all of us having a clear knowledge of what must be done and why we must do them. Yung meron tayong iisang pagkaalam kung ano ang dapat natin gawin at kung paano natin dapat gawin yung mga bagay na yan. Every Christian must understand that the things that we should be engaging in, the end goal should be the glory of God. Anong sinabi sa atin ng 1 Corinthians 10:31? Whether you eat or drink or whatsoever you do, do all to the glory of God. Pagka inaral niyo itong verse na to, napaka-common, right? But you should get the feeling Diyos, bakit when He talked about glorifying God, He used eating and drinking? Kasi, ito ho yung dalawa sa pinaka parang insignificant na ginagawa ng isang tao dahil normal mong ginagawa yan. Pero ano sinasabi ng Diyos dito? Even in the simple activities, the end goal should be glorifying God. Ganun kasimple. Ibig sabihin, kung yung simpleng bagay na katulad ng pag-inom ng tubig at pagkain ng pagkain, God wants you to glorify Him. What more with more important things that we do in life? And Peter made it clear for his readers from chapter 2 verse 11 to chapter 3 verse 7 that one goal for maintaining a good testimony, is for the salvation of others. You know, isang sinasabi ni Peter doon, di ba, na isang reason why you should maintain your Christian testimony is because other people are looking at you. Okay? This is one way that you point them to Christ. Yun ang isang point ni Peter. So Peter was telling his leaders, let's be one with how we think and behave so that we can lead others to Christ and bring glory to God. Yun ang sinasabi ni Peter na one mind. Maging isa tayo sa goal natin. Hindi yung kami lang ang merong goal na to, kayo iba yung goal ninyo. Ang gusto, ang sinasabi ni Peter, what God wants us to be showing is that we are united with our goal in life. And our goal in life is not to amass wealth in this world. Our goal in life is not to make a long list of achievements natin dito sa buhay. Our goal in this life is to glorify God sa buhay natin. To glorify God sa buhay natin. Alam niyo ba, nung ini-establish ang bansang Amerika, yung mga nag-start ng educational system sa States, yung mga Puritans, alam niyo ba kung ano ang sinabi nilang goal kung bakit kailangan magkaroon ng educational system sa Amerika? Sabi ng mga Puritans, nakasulat ko sa documents nila, that every American will know how to read so that they will read correctly the Bible so that Satan will not be able to trick them. Yun. Yung main reason ng mga Puritans when they started the educational system in America, para matuto ang lahat na magbasa, para mabasa nila ang Biblia, para hindi sila madaya ni Satanas. Tingnan niyo yan. End goal is to glorify God. Peter was telling his leaders that they should also be united in showing yung mga susunod na pag-aaralan natin na dapat pinapakita ng isang tunay na anak ng Diyos. So yun yung unang way how we should show love para sa mga kapatiran natin sa pananampalataya. Second, to do it with compassion. To do it with compassion. Sabi ng verse 8, having compassion one of another. Yung Greek word used doon for compassion is sympathis, which means suffering with. That is where we get the English word for sympathy. Yung sympathis. We should have a sincere feeling for and with the people around us who are suffering to the point where we feel or empathize with what they are experiencing sa buhay mo nila. Compassion should be, pag tinandaan ninyo na ang context nito, lahat yung mga readers ni Peter, lahat sila ay nag-go through extreme sufferings. Tingnan niyo yung demand. Ikaw na Kristiyano na nagsasuffer, have compassion with other Christians who are suffering. Yung mga Christians na to have all the reason in the world not to be concerned with other people. Di ba? Because they're suffering themselves. Pero ano sinasabi ni Peter? Sabi niya, ang gusto ng Diyos, yes, you're suffering. Your brethren are also suffering. Forget about your own sufferings and have compassion with other brethren who are suffering. Kalimutan mo yung sufferings mo. Maging concerned ka, tulungan mo yung nagsasuffer. Sir, paano naman po yung tao na nagsasuffer? Remember, if everyone is looking for the welfare of others, iikot lang din yan, babalik din sa iyan. Eventually, meron ding magkikare sa'yo kung ang iniisip ng lahat, yung kapwa niya, iikot din mo yan. So, Peter was saying, you're suffering, but have compassion with others who are also suffering. The world we live in gives us so many cares in our life. Yung ba, ang mundo na ating mong inikutan, pinapamuhayan, binibigyan mo tayo ng maraming mga problema. Okay? And it is so easy not to mind yung mga problema ng iba. But as Christians, that should not be, especially with brethren who are suffering. Sa mga Kristiyano, hindi ho dapat ganun ang mentalidad natin, nakakalimutan may iba dahil meron ka naman sariling problema. Bilang Kristiyano, hindi ho dapat ang ganun. Kailangan meron tayong compassion for the brethren. Alam niyo ba kung anong basis ng pagiging compassionate ng mga Christians with other members of the family of God? 1 John 1:7, ano sinabi? But if we walk in the light as He is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus Christ has cleansed us from all sin. Ang basis po ng inyong pagbibigay ng awa, ng compassion sa ibang mga mananampalataya ay yung relasyon natin kay Kristo. Kung tayong lahat ay nasa kay Kristo, meron na tayo dapat concern sa isa't isa. If we exercise compassion with our biological brethren, tayo ay nagpapakita ng awa, compassion sa mga kapatid natin sa laman. Alam niyo ba? Much more should be given, much more should be exercised with our spiritual brethren. Ano ba bakit? Because your spiritual brethren, sila ang kasama mo for all of eternity. And this should come naturally from us, as the Bible tells us that God Himself has taught us to love. Si Kristo mismo, tinuruan tayong magmahal. Kaya dapat tayo ay nagpapakita ng compassion, pag-ibig sa iba. Sabi ng 1 Thessalonians 4:9, But as touching brotherly love, ye need not that I write unto you, for ye yourselves are taught of God to love one another. So, one mind, sumunod, with compassion. Second, third, with pity. Sabi ng verse 8, be pitiful. Greek word for pitiful is eusplanchnos, which means tender-heartedness or of good-heartedness. Christians should be tender-hearted for others. Tayong mga Kristiyano, dapat meron tayong malambot na puso para sa mga kapwa nating mga Kristiyano. Christians should be so concerned for other Christians who are suffering, even if they also are experiencing their own sufferings. Doon sa Roman Empire, during yung time na isinusulat po yung mga epistles sa Roman Empire, alam niyo ba, yung pagiging maawain, being pitiful was not admirable. Hindi ka ho titingalain, hindi ka titignan ng maganda kung ikaw ay manugali na maawain. Nung time na isinusulat po ang mga epistles. But Christianity changed all of that. What was not admirable was admonished to be cultivated. Nung dumating ang Kristyanismo, binaligtad ng lahat. Yung hindi tinitignan na maganda, ano tinuturo ng Christianism? Ito ang i-cultivate nyo. Christ was a great example of a person who always showed pity for others. Di ba? Si Kristo mismo ay isang magandang halimbawa sa atin ng pagpapakita ng awa, ng pity sa ibang mga tao. As His followers, we should also be like Him and show pity for everyone that are suffering. Ito ang tanong sa atin. Ano bang nararamdaman ninyo pagka nakikita ng kapatiran ninyo na nagsasuffer? Meron ba tayong nararamdaman pag nabalitaan ninyo na ang isang kapatid sa pananampalataya ay mayroong problema, may karamdaman? Meron ba tayong nararamdamang pity, awa sa kanila? Sinasabi ko sa atin ang salita ng Diyos, dapat meron po tayong nararamdaman para sa kanila. We must be very Christ-like with what we feel when we see others, especially our brethren, suffering. Fourth, with courtesy. Ano sabi ng verse 8? Be courteous. Greek word for courteous is tapeinofron, which means lowly-minded. Ang magandang translation ng lowly-minded is humble-minded. May pag-iisip na nagpapakababa. Bakit kailangan ninyong maging humble-minded? Kasi you have to understand, you will never ever be courteous. You will never ever be pitiful kung in the first place, you are not humble. Di ba? Bakit ako maawa sa iba? Kung ang feeling ko mataas ako dun sa tao. Hindi ka maawa dun sa isang tao kung in the first place, wala kang pagpapakumbaba. The only time that you will show pity, compassion to other people is kung na-develop na sa puso mo yung pagpapakababa. So, that is a requirement to becoming compassionate and pitiful. Humility is making oneself low enough to serve others. Yun po ang humility. Yung pagpapakababa ay yung punto na kung saan nakikita mo na mababa ang sarili mo, kaya ang thinking mo, I should serve others who are higher than me. Okay? Yun po ang ibig sabihin ho yan. It's why compassion is impossible without humility. With all of Peter's readers experiencing persecution and will be experiencing more, it was crucial that every one of them have a servant's heart to assist others who are also suffering. Importante ho para sa mga readers ni Peter na para sila ay magkaroon ng pagtutulungan na sila ay mababa ang kanilang tingin sa sarili nila para meron silang pagsisilbi na ginagawa sa isa't isa. It is so difficult to lovingly be compassionate with someone you look low to, with someone na hindi mo tinitingnan na mas mababa sa iyo. Mahirap maging compassionate sa mga tao, mababa ka naman Okay? Unless we have a humble heart, love shown through compassion will not be possible to come out of us. So, ang unang discuss ni Peter, love for the brethren. But not just the brethren. Hindi siya natapos dun sa love your brethren, yung mga kapatid niyo sa pananampalataya. Hindi siya natapos doon. Peter does not only admonish us to love our brothers and sisters in Christ, he also admonishes us to love our enemies. Sabi niya, mahalin mo kapatiran mo. Hindi nagpilit si Peter doon. Tinuloy niya, love your enemies as well. Verse 9, not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing, but contrariwise, blessing. Peter's readers are people who are being persecuted and will be persecuted more for their faith. Tandaan nun natin yun. Ang mga readers niya, mga Kristiyanong pine-persecute dahil sa kanilang pananampalataya at bibigyan pa ng mas matinding persecution, pagpapahirap dahil sa kanilang pananampalataya. Peter does not call them to be on the offensive. Hindi niya sinasabi, ang mensahe ni Peter sa kanila, hindi yung lumaban kayo. Kundi, ang call niya sa kanila, kahit mahirap, ay sabi niya, mahalin niyo ang inyong mga kaaway. The call for us to love our enemies, alam niyo, this is one significant contrast between Christianity and Islam. Yun ang isa sa malaking pagkakaiba ng Christianity and Islam, yung tawag na mahalin natin pati yung ating mga kaaway. If you know the doctrine of Islam, ano ang sinasabi? Yung mga infidels, yung mga hindi nag-share ng faith ng mga Muslims, you kill them. Hindi ko yun ang mensahe ng Christianism. I was watching the news last week. Doon sa news ito sinabi, psychologists and social workers went to Marawi and they did a stress debriefing sa mga Muslim na children na na-rescue, yung mga bakwit, mga evacuees. evacuees dun sa Marawi. Ni-stress debrief nila ng mga psychologists, social workers, yung mga bata. They were surprised. Alam niyo ba bakit? When they asked the children, ito po ay mga Muslim ng mga bata, ano ang tingin mo dun sa mga naghasik ng gulo? How do you see the people that raided Marawi? Alam niyo kung ano sagot ng mga bata? They are heroes. They are heroes. Hindi ba nakakatakot yun? Ito ang tanong, saan mo nang galing yung ganun thinking? I can only think of the parents. Di ba? Saan naman nung magagaling yung thinking na yun, kundi sa mga parents? Alam mo, ito po yan eh. Itong mga Muslims in Marawi, yes, they want the war in Marawi to end. But the truth is, they want to end with the ISIS and the Maote groups winning. That's what they want. Look at mga nung 911 sa Amerika. Okay? You will not read or watch any videos from the top Muslim leaders na Amerika na kinondem nila yung mga Muslims that did the attack. Wala ko kayong makikita na sila mali yung ginawa nila. Okay? They don't want to be affected nung ginagawa nila. What they want is that these people become successful. Tumaas sa balahibo ko when I was listening to that news video last week. Itong mga bata look at yung mga ISIS at mga Maote groups as heroes. You know ba? Sabihin nila na yung mga radical Muslims lang ang gumagawa kung yan. Read the Quran. If you get the chance to read the Quran, you will see that radical Muslims, that is the norm pagdating sa Quran. Because the call is to kill those who do not share yung kanilang faith. That's not the message of Christianity. The message of Christianity is love. Alam niyo, everything na dahil sa ating kaligtasan is all because of love. Remember, it all started between the love affair ng Father, God the Father, and God the Son. Remember that God the Father wants a bride for His Son. Sino ba ang bride ni Kristo? The church. That's the reason why the Father had a plan of sending His Son to the world so that He could save a group of people, the church, that will be married to the Son. Ano ang gagawin ng Panginoon dun sa people who are making up the church? He sanctifies all of the real members of the church. Sanctify means to make the church beautiful to the Son, so that someday, when the church is married to the Son has a very beautiful bride in the church. Ang totoo, di ba? Remember, Brother Bob made a discussion of this. Yes, John 3:16 tells us, for God so loved the world. But the truth is, God's love for the world is secondary. Ang unang love dyan is love, the love affair between the Father and the Son. We were just caught in the middle of that great love affair. Love. You know, Messiah, and because love was the reason why we now have salvation, love is also something that God wants us to show to people, even to our enemies. The call to us to love our enemies is one of the significant teachings of Christianity. According to Warren Wiersbe, Christians can live on one of three levels, sabi ni Warren Wiersbe. Ang mga Christians daw can live in one of three levels. Ano yung una? Return evil for good. Kung gano'n ang tendency ninyo, ginawan kayo ng good, ang binalik nyo evil, ano level yan? Satanic level. Return good for good and evil for evil, that is the human level. Human level yon. Alam niyo kung anong divine level? Return good for evil. That is the divine level. Tanong, saan mo tayo doon? At what level do we operate when someone does something bad to us? Saan level mo tayo dyan? Jesus gave the example of being in the divine level because, of course, He is divine. When He was innocently crucified, He asked the Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. God was shamed by our sins, but what He gave us was salvation through Christ's sacrifice. Binastuso natin ang Diyos sa ating mga kasalanan, pero ang binigay ng Diyos, kaligtasan sa pamamagitan ng sakripisyo ni Kristo. Peter for a long time operated in the human level, returning good for good, evil for evil. He chose to bear the sword when others were going against him in Christ. But eventually, ang halimbawa ni Kristo, the example of Christ, transformed him to a person that encourages Christians to operate in the divine level to return good for evil. Si Peter ko transformed ni Kristo. Ngayon, yun ang message niya. If someone does evil sin to you, give them good. Ano ba teaching ni Kristo? Pag pinuto kayo ng tinapay, ng bato, patuhin din ng tinapay. Di ba? Dinagdagan ng Pilipino. Lagyan mo ng star margarine. Di ba? Yun ang dagdag ng Pilipino doon. When someone strikes you in one side of your face, ang sabi, ibigay mo ba yung kabila? That is the divine level. Peter was not that kind of person before, but now, obviously, he's that kind of person. As Christians, because, why is this important? Na tayo ay mag-operate sa divine level to return good for evil. Because this will set believers so different from unbelievers, which will make them look for the cause ng pagbabago natin. At may tuturo natin sila kay Kristo. Alam nyo, kailangan makita ng mga tao nasa paligid natin bilang mga Kristiyano that we're not operating anymore in the human level or, syempre, dapat mas lalo tayo hindi nag-ooperate dun sa satanic level. Dapat na makita we're operating in the divine level. As Christians, we must operate on the basis of mercy. Bilang mga Kristiyano, ang basis po ng ating actions ay awa, habag, mercy, which is not giving what others deserve. Yun po ang mercy, when you're not giving people what they deserve. For example, binastos ako ni Roy. Anong deserve ni Roy? Pastusin ko rin siya. Pero what I give him is mercy. Roy, kain tayo sa labas. Lalasuhin kita ng papakain. Kain tayo sa labas. Hindi ko yun ang deserve. Hindi ko, dapat deserve ni Roy. Anuhin ko siya, di ba? Lasunin ko siya. Okay? But God wants us to use mercy. Okay? That is contrasted to grace. Ang grace mo naman ganon, yung hindi niya deserve, ibinigay mo. Yun ang grace. What he does not deserve, you give him. Hindi mo deserve ni Roy na pakainin ko siya masarap dahil binastos niya ako, pero binigay ko yung pagkain masarap pa rin. Yun naman mo ay grasya. Okay? God wants us to operate on the basis of mercy. But you may ask, but what about yung principles sa Bible na eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth? Teachings po ng Matthew 5:38-48. Alam niyo ho, yung eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, that is the basis for justice. Basis po niyan ay justice. At alam niyo ba, hindi ko sa atin yun. Hindi ko para sa atin yung justice. Because justice is appointed to the powers that be. Sino yung powers that be? The people in government. Hindi yung pagka merong ginawang masama, ilalagay mo sa kamay mo yung hustisya, sasaktan mo iba. Hindi mo para sa atin yun. Ang binigay sa atin to operate on the basis of mercy. It is not for us to operate on the basis of justice. Kaya hindi yung para sa atin yung principle of eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. What we should be preoccupied with is yung showing Christ in our lives. Yun po ang dapat tumatakbo ang isip natin, ang buhay natin, ang maipakita si Kristo sa buhay natin, even showing mercy to our enemies. And when we bless those that do evil to us, Peter makes it clear that we should expect blessing for it. Alam niyo, pagka bine-bless niyo pa yung mga kaaway ninyo, ang sabi ni Peter, expect blessing for that. Ano sabi ng verse 9? That ye should inherit a blessing. Christ Himself made it clear that those who will be persecuted for their faith will receive a reward. Kristo mismo nagsabi nun, na pagka kayo ay sinasaktan pa dahil sa inyong pananampalataya, there's reward for that. Sabi ho ng Matthew chapter 5 verses 10 to 12, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Ibig sabihin, you have proof na anak ka ng Diyos if ang nangyayari ay you endure persecution for righteousness' sake. Okay? Blessed are you when men shall revile and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets who were before you. Ano ba yung reward na yan? The Bible talks about the crown of life para po sa mga tao, mga Kristiyano that patiently endures persecution for righteousness' sake. But we are also blessed today when we bless those that do evil sa atin. Alam nyo, ngayon pa lang, hindi nyo kailangan makarating sa langit para makareceive ng blessing sa persecution. Ngayon pa lang ho, when you endure persecution, you receive blessing. Ano bang blessing doon? Persecution can be a time of enrichment for a Christian. Persecution can be a time of enrichment for a Christian, especially if he is able to respond correctly. Okay? Paano po tayo na-enrich? Pagka you're responding correctly sa persecution, sino bang na-develop tayo? Di ba? Na-develop tayo. Yung character natin, na-develop sa kabila na tayo sinasaktan, pine-persecute tayo, tama pa rin ang ating response, tayo ang nadidevelop po nun. And so the reality is, a bad day to a Christian actually is a good day because of the reward that awaits him in heaven and the enrichment he experiences because of you. So love the brethren, love your enemies. Is Peter done? No. Love the brethren, love the enemies, but there's more. Verse 10. For he that will love life and see good days. Sabi niyo sa verse 10. This seems to be asking too much because now Peter is asking you, love your brethren, love your enemies, at lahat ng nangyayari within the sufferings that you are experiencing. Now, he is telling you, love life. Love life? This seems to be asking too much, right? You're asked to love the life full of sufferings. That is asking too much. Peter knows that loving life and seeing good days are both possible. Alam niyo ba, alam ni Peter, the loving life and seeing good days is possible, but if you do these four things, four requirements to seeing good days. Number 1, we must intentionally decide to love life. We must intentionally decide to love life. Notice how verse 10 is rendered. Kung paano sinabi yung simula ng verse 10. For he that will love life. We must decide to embrace the life God has given us no matter what difficulty He will allow that will come to our lives. Dapat po, bilang mga Kristiyano, okay, meron po tayong desisyon, i-embrace ko yung buhay ko na ibinigay ng Panginoon kahit na mahirap, knowing knowing that it was God that allowed for that kind of life. We can decide to run away from it or just enjoy it. That's your choice. As Christians, we must understand that this life is the pressure cooker that God uses that will make us what He wants us to be. Tandaan mo natin, itong buhay na to, ito ang pressure cooker na binigay na Diyos. Ano ba ginagawa ng pressure cooker? Nagpapalambot ko, di ba? Pag malambot na ho, ganito ko kasimple yan. Kuha kayo ng isang fresh na laman ng baka. Kahit na anong babad na ho dyan, sa marinade ninyo, hindi ho ganun kadali papasok yung flavor dun sa meat, right? Anong kailangan mong gawin para pumasok yung meat? Kailangan mapalambot yun. Kaya iba, pinipressure cooker, yung iba, pinupok-pok nila, di ba? Sabay pag na-pressure cooker ho kayo, hindi mo madali yun. Pagka napupok-pok kayo, hindi madali yun. Pero anong nangyayari pagka lumambot na? Madali ho pumapasok yung flavor dun sa meat. Alam niyo mo, ganito yun eh. Kung walang pressure sa buhay natin, difficulty sa buhay natin, you sometimes think, you really don't need to know God that much, right? Parang hindi kailangan magbigay ng oras sa mga bagay na spiritual. Kasi walang pressure eh. But when you're going through pressures in life, you always think you need God. Eh kahit na nga yung atheist eh. Pagka nahirapan na, tumatawag din sa Diyos eh. Meron isang video na pinakita si Ravi Zacharias about Richard Dawkins, isang kilalang atheist sa panahon natin. May tinanong sa kanya eh. Ang sagot niya eh, then I will call on to God. Biglang naniwala sa Diyos nung mahirap na yung sitwasyon. Ganun din sa atin eh. We need those pressure cooker experiences sa buhay mo natin para we run to the Lord. Okay? And what He wants us to be is the best thing that can happen to us. Tandaan niyo mo yun. Kung ano yung gusto ng Diyos na mangyari sa atin, yun ang pinakamaganda mangyayari mo sa atin. Yung pressure cooker na yun, the experiences, para mo magawa ng Diyos yung gusto niya mangyari sa atin. Para ma-develop ng Diyos yung gusto niya mangyari sa atin. What He wants us to be will open the door for unimaginable glory for us. So what is not to love about whatever life God gives us, right? Ano nga ayawan mo sa buhay na bibigay ng Diyos sa atin if He is sovereign enough to use those difficult situations to develop the kind of person that He wants to develop in us. The key to deliberately deciding to love life is to look beyond the difficulties to what God is trying to accomplish in our lives with the trials He allows. We must be in control of our tongue. Yung sumunod ho na sinabi niya, para you could see good days in your life. Ano sabi ng verse 10? Let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile. Alam mo, karamihan sa troubles na pinagdadaanan mo na dumadating sa buhay natin dahil sa hindi natin nakokontrol ng ating sinasabi. May conflicts because hindi natin nakontrol yung ating mga sinasabi. Peter was sort of telling his readers, those that harm you or accuse you or make false evil statements against you, try your best. Pilitin nyo na wala kayo sasabihin sa kanila. Pigilan nyo yung sarili. Try your best to control your emotions so that you will not fall into greater difficulties by letting yourself say things that you later regret. Instead of allowing our tongue to bring us more evil, work for good days by blessing those that do you harm. Para ma-assure you that you have good days, pigilan natin bibig natin para walang harm na darating sa atin. Yes, that is difficult. Alam ko, difficult yun. Ako rin minsan, madalas, pagka na naiirita na sa mga ibang tao, I want to say everything na masakit na gusto ko sabihin. Pero alam nyo, mas maganda ng tigilan ninyo. Mahirap. Pero you'd like the feeling after kung tinigilan lang yung sarili. You'd like feeling. Okay? Do good and hate evil. Sabi ng verse 11, let him eschew evil and do good. To be in good standing with God and others, we should make it a point to preoccupy ourselves with doing good and hating the very sight of evil. Why will we have good days if we do good and hate evil? Bakit tayo magkakaroon ng mga gandang mga araw if we hate evil and do good? Verse 13 gives us the answer. Ano ba sinabi sa verse 13? And who is he that will harm you if you be followers of that which is good? Sabi ni Peter, bakit kayo iligaya sa buhay ninyo if iniiwasan nyo ang mali at ang ginagawa nyo yung tama? Kasi sabi ni Peter sa verse 13, sino ba ang aaway sa inyo kung ginagawa nyo tama? Okay? But I will have an exposition of this later sa susunod na mensahe kung anong ibig sabihin niya. Peter was saying, what reason do others will have to harm you if you're doing good? But you may ask, itong paaaring tanong nyo, you know a lot of people, especially Christians, who are being harmed for doing good, right? Dami nung kilalang mga Kristiyano na hinaharm for doing good. Okay? Alam nyo kung ano naging answer ni Peter dyan? Verse 12, the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and His ears are open to their cry, but the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. Kung meron sa inyo na sa kabila ng ginawa niyo tama, meron gumawa ng masama sa inyo, ito ang comfort sa akin. Ang paningin ng Diyos na sa inyo. Okay? That should be a source of comfort. God will have your back if you are persecuted for doing good. He will listen to your pleadings for help. Lastly, seek and pursue peace. Sabi in verse 11, let him seek peace and ensure. Christians should never be conflict initiators. Hindi tayo, mga Kristiyano, hindi tayo dapat ang nagsisimula ng mga conflicts. Instead, we should always be peace enhancers. The call for us to harness peace in our relations is even in cases where we have all the reasons in the world to start a war with others. Yung tawag na tayo dapat ay peace ang ating sinisimulan sa mundo na to ay sa kabila ng meron kayong sangkatutak na dahilan para mang-away ng ibang tao. This was the situation of Peter's leaders, and yet they were being called to harness peace. This is actually what the Bible voices as God's expectations from His children. Ano ba ang sinasabi ng Biblia tungkol sa kanyang mga anak ng Diyos? Romans 12:18, if it is possible, as much as lying, you live peaceably with all men. And being peacemakers, alam nyo, pagkaka-peacemakers kayo, you identify with God because Matthew 5:9 tells us, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. And the Bible tells us that we should work for peace as it does not come automatically. You should work. Pagtabahuan nyo ang kapayapaan dahil hindi ho natural dumarating ang kapayapaan. Ano sinabi ng Romans 4:19? Let us therefore follow after the things which make for peace. Ibig sabihin na tinatrabaho ang pagkakaroon ng payapang relasyon sa ibang tao. And obviously, if we are at peace with God and others, but not intolerant in sin, of course, we see good days and we will have a reason to love life. Finally, have you noticed sa teksto natin how things were given in the present tense? Things were given sa text natin in the present tense. It means that the things that we have discussed should be a present reality and should be continuing in our lives. Dapat po, sa ngayon, nakikita ko, yun ang ibig sabihin niyan. That this thing should be a common observation of us, of people in our surroundings. Now look at one short line in verse 9. Ano sinabi sa isang line sa verse 9? Knowing that ye are thereunto called. Knowing that ye are thereunto called. Peter was making the point that these things that he was asking his readers to be doing was not something that just came up. Hindi sinasabi, ngayon lang dumating to ha, bagong news, bagong hinihingi ng Diyos. Hindi yun ang pinapakita. Sabi niya, knowing that ye thereunto are called. Tinawag kayo rito. Okay? These things have been set by God way before the foundations of the world that every child of His should be doing. Alam niyo ba? Bago ma-establish ng mundo na to, para sa mga anak ng Diyos, God has set that these things we should be doing as His children. This is part of our divine call set for us from before time was. This is supported by what Paul said in his letter to the Ephesians 2 verse 10. For we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works, which God had before ordained that we should walk in them. Noon pala, bago pa kayo binuhay ng Panginoon, bago pa man na-create itong universe na ito, these things na nag-aralan mo natin were set by God na ito dapat ang makita natin. By heeding Peter's call in our text today, we are actually fulfilling God's call for His elect made way before the world began. I hope that we got the message this morning. Christians should be love cultivators. Tumayo tayong lahat. Tayo mag-end sa isang panalangin.